Hello, this is Bruce Green of Green and Moorhead Engineering with BuilderHMI 2.3. So this video is going to be just an exploration of all the files in the BuilderHMI GitHub repository and in a BuilderHMI project. So this is the software development kit SDK that BuilderHMI ships with. It is available on a private GitHub repository only for customers of BuilderHMI. So obviously the main directory we're going to get into, but the CNC capability of BuilderHMI requires a companion PMAC project that's got to be loaded onto the motion controller in order for the whole software system to work properly. And of course, there that is. This is all the documentation. We have obviously release notes, the main BuilderHMI user's guide, the CNC specific reference guide. Then BuilderHMI is based on the Motion Commander Foundation application framework. And so when you're actually doing C# customization, you're going to really want to know some details about the framework, and that's all in here. This is also the API that the framework exposes to applications is all documented in this CHM file. So BuilderHMI, the previous generation was called Power PMAC NC. And there's a lot of rich documentation in here in terms of the specifics of setting up a milling machine for CNC. And so a lot of information here, in fact, pretty much all of it is going to help with specific questions on BuilderHMI. All right, so the Visual Studio folder includes a bunch of example C#. It's basically the source code for all of the CNC specific controls, a bunch of example source code, and then source code for the PMAC support. So a lot of good stuff in here, but this is advanced, Visual Studio C# stuff. All right, into the BuilderHMI directory itself. So when you're going to distribute the BuilderHMI application to a machine, this is the folder that you're going to be making a copy of and putting on your machine. So obviously we have the main executable. There's a separate message log viewer application that you'll find handy for certain reasons. The companion or the various DLLs that load in support for CNC and for generic PMAC HMI applications. Then these are all the lower level DLLs. This is the Motion Commander Foundation framework, Motion Commander Foundation support for the Power PMAC, Builder core capabilities. A bunch of Microsoft stuff, SSH support. That's how we talk to the PMAC. And then this is the initial BuilderHMI.ini file for your reference. All right, so as far as the subdirectories go, there was a separate video on skins. We've got skins for machine view and skins for the main HMI pages. Then we've got projects, and the two projects that it ships with are the example CNC project that you're seeing a ton of in these videos. And then there's a separate, simpler, generic PMAC HMI project that it ships with. The new project templates pretty much don't touch anything in here. These templates are for when you use the new project tool built into BuilderHMI to create a new project. It's going to pull template code out of here, so just don't touch it. So help can be useful. Whatever you put in here, various document formats, PDF, text, rich text format, and it actually describes all of that in here. These files will appear in the Help tab of Machine View in your BuilderHMI application, whatever it is found in here. So you can actually add help files for your own application there. So I just wanted to contrast that. And then I'm going to drill briefly into this. So we already discussed the files that comprise the default PMAC CNC project that the application ships with. They're very simple. We've talked about project.ini, the image files, the XAML files that are just markup of where the various controls are on the HMI pages. Device members we've talked about, links, machine view device members with PMAC variables, and then machine.xml we've talked about. So I've just switched over to a very similar project, but one that I'm actually running. And so you're going to find the difference. Let's look back at the original one, which is very minimal. And as you start running the project, then BuilderHMI is going to be creating a bunch of additional files. And I just wanted to briefly touch on those. So notes, there's a notes node or item in Machine View for just generic, jotting down whatever notes. The message log is actually saved as an A and a B, and the reason for that is you establish the maximum size for a message log file, which is here probably 64 KB, and when that size is exceeded, then I just cut off that message log file and I start another one, and then I go back and forth so that you're always guaranteed to have the last 64 KB of messages available to look at. You never accidentally lose all your messages because the message log file just got overwritten. So here's our XAML again. So settings, we discussed device members in Machine View that are settings style members, which means they're persistent. Their values are saved to a file when the application shuts down and then restored again at startup. That is where all those values are going to be saved. And then I save 3 old copies, 3 of the previous copies. The reason for that is sometimes you will change a setting or maybe change a bunch of settings and realize you might have really screwed up, and now you can access usually one of these 3 files back in time is gonna have that missing data that you accidentally changed. So that can be very useful there. So up here, temp NC. So we discussed the fact that the NC program parser generates I introduced the parser output pane that has the actual file that's going to be downloaded to PMAC. It's how the NC programs are converted into PMAC programs, and that is that file right there. Then similarly, this is the MDI editor, the contents of the MDI editor, and then the PMC file that gets generated from that. So it's always useful to know where those go. We had a separate video on internationalization, and as foreign language files are generated, these are actually huge files of English and translated pairs of strings. They accumulate in the languages folder. And then backups is certain critical files such as settings. I actually do a CRC on them, and that way I can detect if a settings file got corrupted. This is often the case when an operator just pulls the plug on a machine as opposed to shutting BuilderHMI down and then closing, shutting down Windows properly on your PC. If just the power is killed on a machine, it's possible that one of these files, like settings or data, winds up getting corrupted. So I save what I call the last known good copy of those files, and offer to restore them if I see that you've got a corrupt one on disk. I forgot data here. The difference between data and settings. Settings is the persistent member values, but data is other persistent data. For example, window positions, dialog box positions, the width of various panes, and things like that. So that's the data file. So that pretty much describes all the various files in the BuilderHMI SDK, along with the BuilderHMI projects, and as the project gets used and gets actually run, what extra additional files are generated. All right, my name is Bruce Green, Green and Moorhead Engineering, BuilderHMI 2.3. Thanks for watching.